Okay.
How's that?
How's that for sound now, Toph? Give us a...
Well, I have to catch up to the
Yeah, I know. Okay. So, anyway, guys, if you've got any questions, just type them out and we'll do our best to answer them.
Yep.
If you would like to have anything interpreted, basically.
Yeah.
So, if you've got
Any recurring
ailments,
shit going on.
problems with your body, anything like that, just drop us a message.
Problems at work, problems at home,
problems with your
family, relationships,
problems with your
iPhones.
or yeah, we still haven't worked out how to interpret our own problem right here with the technical issues yet, but we'll get there.
We will get
sure.
there.
What else do we cover, John?
Oh, all kinds of things. Recurring pains. I haven't had any real recurring nose pains this week.
No, yes.
Seem to be on top of that one.
Seem to be enjoying your life a bit more.
Oh yeah, breathing in your life.
Congratulations.
Battery on the laptop's charging away every day, so rejuvenated plans.
Yes.
Check.
Check and check.
How about you, John?
Nothing at the moment.
Every now and then.
Sorry, I did get the burn, my matching burn, like my daughter got on the leg. That was a little bit of a message for me.
So Max has posted that he's had a blocked nose and sinus for a few months.
It's only one side, isn't it, Max?
Yeah, so is it one side or is it both?
Both sides,
one side. Generally speaking, blocked nose has got to do with breathing in life, so it's not enjoying your life. It's also a little bit about there's like more deeper interpretation about making plans and stuff, and which side is blocked. If it's on one side, it's on both.
Yep.
So generally speaking, it's just about not breathing in life and enjoying life.
Yep.
So if you can really nail the area that you're not breathing in life, you're not be liking work or your social life or your home life. You've got to identify sort of where it is.
Does it happen like everywhere, Max, or is it certain?
Is it more in the morning?
More in the morning,
afternoon,
like at work, at home.
And usually once you nail the issue, then it'll clear very quickly by itself. Different reasons for not breathing in life. Sometimes you're not expressing yourself. Sometimes, like John, you have to make new plans.
Yes. It also could be those around you, right?
Yes,
As I found out in the workplace, I realised about a week ago I was getting mine at work and blamed the air conditioning, as you do, right? No.
It's always air conditioning.
It's always air conditioning, fucking air conditioning. But I found one of our other tools, which I think Max knows.
Yes.
Is that my feels?
Yes.
Return to sender,
Is that my feels? And similar to the return to sender, I guess, Max, that you might know. And ask, does that belong to you? Is that mine?
Yes.
And if it gets, if it gets a little bit lighter, or the nose just sort of opens up a little bit, which in the case it did for me, then send that shit away.
So all the people around you, in other words, might not be enjoying their life.
Yeah, and you're
picking that up, and you're joining in vibrationally on their feelings. So we do have 3 videos on our YouTube channel. The first 3 tools, intro tools.
Yeah. And
one of them is called "Is That My Feels?"
Is that my feels?
So it's just a quick introduction to how to identify if sometimes our issues are not ours. Vibrationally, we pick them up.
Yep.
And we mimic them through.
So maybe jump back on to the YouTube.
Jump back on to
check out the video, Max. Remember, and refresh yourself, I guess, and ask the question.
Yes.
Is that my feel?
Is that my feels? Is that my pain? Is that my block? Am I blocked because of the people around me? Am I blocked my nose because, like, with part of John's one was not making new plans for your life.
That's right.
So you might want a new job or a new house or a new bunch of friends.
It could be as simple as just accepting the outcome, whatever it might be.
Yes.
Not trying to think too much about it or think that you might not like it or whatever. The thought process goes on in your head. So
Max, what we'll do is, as soon as we can't go live now, I'll give you a live call through the week sometime, and I'll help you to nail it. And then maybe next week you can come back on and say, yes, that works. So we can get a bit of confirmation from somebody else.
That'd be awesome.
And we'll give you a free online session, Max, and just to try and help you nail down the process of what it is, what part of your life you're not enjoying, which part of life you're not breathing.
Like these two over here.
Pardon me.
Not enjoying
our technical career, a little bit stressed out with all the shit that's been going on.
Technical problems after the clear run.
Put a smile on your dial. There we go.
Yeah, so
awesome.
Any other questions out
Who's
there?
next? Who wants to go next? Who's got another
one pop up there, did it?
Thanks heaps. Awesome. Cheers, Max.
Thanks, Max.
Anytime, bro.
So anyone else? Also, we've got a bit of a competition going, which we're drawing on Thursday as well. So if you go onto our page, our Facebook page, and click on our free promo competition, whatever it's called, and it's at the top. It's at the top of the post.
That's the technical term.
Leave the technical terms for you guys. Click on that, share and like, and do whatever it says, and you'll be in the running for a free half-hour reading
With this John.
with this John. And
Maybe the psychic John. Or the
and
sidecar
yes, and
John.
we can help you nail down it. With a lot of these problems, it helps if you've got someone to guide you a little bit in a direction. They are very general, they're very common, and it is mainly all vibrational medicine. If you look at it, it's all about frequency and vibration. So if you can get the body and the thoughts and feelings into the right frequency, it should completely heal itself of anything. Getting that right frequency is the challenge. So,
Damn straight.
You know,
but it works, you know, and
it works.
I've been living it for a year now. You know?
I mean, there's a thing called right frequencies, which have been around since the 50s, and the governments know them and everything else. So this is not sort of spiritual stuff. It's quantum physics. It is
quantum.
It's basic. You know, you can go and look for right frequencies online. It'll have a frequency.
It might not be mainstream yet.
Every single disease, every single ailment has a frequency. So if you can nail the frequency and disrupt it, then technically your body will heal itself instantly. So anyone else out there, recurring problems, our body is very symbolic. It's a representation, we believe, of what the soul is trying to talk to us about, or what our infinite being or Christ self is trying to talk to us about. So often it's easier to deal with reoccurring problems, not just the one-offs. You know, I sneezed once, and but you know, if you have, say, you keep bumping your leg, or you keep, you know, cutting the same finger or something, or burning the same leg.
Certain pains that move around on the meridian lines.
Yes, you've got meridians and stuff that run through. So emotional issues to do with anger or fear will relate to different meridians and different organs. So kidney and blood has got to do with fear. Anger has got to do with liver and gallbladder. Grief has got to do with lungs and lung and large intestines. So things like that, we can help nail down the point of that, and if you're willing to deal with it, usually you can heal it quite quickly.
Awesome. So what's coming up for the week ahead, John? What are we working on?
The week ahead, we're putting more videos online. We're putting 3 more tools online in the week ahead.
Awesome.
We're also putting some of our story. That's my story.
That's my story.
There's a new playlist coming up on our
YouTube channel.
YouTube channel, yes.
Yep.
So more and more videos this week.
Get to learn a little bit more about who we are, where we came from,
why we're doing
this.
Hello, Tracy.
Hi, Tracy. So yes, if anyone's got any more questions,
so
please.
Tracy's posted, I'm on an emotional roller coaster. Can you be a little bit more specific, Tracy?
About what?
About what? Is it any one thing specifically? Is it one thing that triggers it?
If it doesn't feel like it's yours, you can go into our videos and look at, is that my feels? That's one of the major tools for stuff like that. Often we'll pick up other people's emotions, and we don't identify them as other people's because they're in ours. If I want to pick up anything from anyone when I'm doing a reading on them, I feel their feelings inside of me.
Right.
If I wasn't aware of that, I would think they're my feelings.
Yeah, and you know, I used to feel, I used to pick up a lot of anxiety and nervousness when I was out and about.
Yeah.
You know, mostly like going out for drinks and stuff with friends. And I'd be fine, I'd be sitting there having a good time, and then the next minute, you know, I'd just be this, like, you know, really weird feelings of being anxious and stuff. And it took me quite a while to realise that they actually weren't mine.
Yeah, so if you use, there's a tool, sometimes we call it, who does that belong to, return to sender. So you feel the emotions each time, and as you're feeling them, just go into the feeling of them and say, who does that belong to?
Yeah.
Or does that belong to me, either way. And if it gets a little bit less, say if it's sadness, if it gets a little bit less sad, then just say return to sender or get stuff.
It's really that simple.
And then repeat that, you know, just go into the feeling, but don't think about who it belongs to when you say that.
Yes, that's right.
Don't worry about who it belongs to, just focus on the feeling of the emotion.
Focus on the feeling.
So if you're, you know, angry, feel the anger and just sit in it and just feel it and go, there's anger there, there's anger there. Who does that belong to? And then if it's a little bit less anger, so if it's 100% anger, it goes down to 90%, just say return to sender or piss off. And then repeat that 4 or 5 times, and you're often find
remember to stay focused through that whole
stay
thing, right?
focused on
when
the
you
feeling.
ask the question, and also when you say the return to sender.
Just feel it get stronger or weaker, stronger or weaker. That's the key point to it, is to just stay on the feeling of the emotion.
Can we drop a comment to the YouTube channel? Thanks. Sorry.
And so yeah, if you got a little bit more specific, Tracy, on the emotional, or
nothing yet. Hey Sarah.
Hi Sarah.
Namaste.
Yes, we won't be going live with anyone this week again because this doesn't seem to
Clearly
want to
we're
play.
not supposed
No, I think we're not supposed to do the face-to-face stuff. We're getting used to it. We're getting used to doing it without it now anyway, so it's really not that much of a problem.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Who else is there? Who else has got a question?
anyone else got a question? A recurring problem, a health issue,
Problem with their children?
problem with their children, and not just problems. You know, moving, how to move forward. Simple things on
that's right.
what to focus on. How do you, what you know, you get more of whatever you focus on in life. So if you find if you're trying to fix problems up all the time, you get more problems. So just simple techniques on how to work out. A lot of people don't know what they want, or they think they don't know what they want.
Right.
Then I speak to them and I say, so what don't you want? And they'll rattle off
give you
this
a
big long
whole
list
list.
of all the things they don't want. I said, well, there you go. You know exactly what you want. It's the opposite of that long list. You just gave me what you didn't want.
That's right.
So each of those things in that list, just go, okay, so what's the opposite of that?
Sounds like a lot of fun, Sarah.
And
Sarah, no children but many problems. How's that working out for you, Sarah?
many problems. So what sort of problems, Sarah? Just give us one as an example.
Come on, Sarah.
One of the things that's the problem. Just, you know, because one of the basic theories started with Einstein as in the science world was energy goes where thought flows. So if you keep thinking about a problem or trying to fix a problem, you get more of the same problem. So if you want to solve something, you don't look at the problem, you look at basically the opposite of what it is, which is the solution.
That's crazy.
So keep focusing on the
That's
solution.
ridiculous.
Oh my god.
Oh, it works that simple?
What?
It is that simple, but it's very difficult when you've been programmed all of your life to focus on the problems that fix problems.
Come on, Sarah.
It's,
You can do better than that. But you would be working too late, mate.
So, yes. Any other questions? Or what's one of our other tools?
Well, I don't know, personally for me, I've not really been focusing too much on what I don't want lately, which has been a good thing, but it's taken me a long while to get there. You know?
It does, you know, because we literally program ourselves to try and fix problems by working out what the problem was so we don't repeat it. And while we're trying to work out what the problem was, we're looking at the problem.
Yeah, right.
And we're creating more of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a little kid running through the room. Don't run into the lounge. Bang, they're running into the lounge. It's like you focus on.
Yeah, and you know, for me, a lot of the other things that helped was just asking a question.
Yes.
You know? Ask a question, but don't jump to straight into the how-tos or the answering of it.
Yes,
you know?
the how-tos, the humans' favourite things to do is the how-to. So when you ask a question, the energy, the frequency, when you ask a question of the universe or yourself or God or whatever you want to call it, the answer and the question come simultaneously in the frequency as an energy. The answer is
straight away.
It's straight away. They're simultaneous. But interpreting that frequency, interpreting that energy, is where the skill comes in. This is where you're saying, like, slow down, ask the question, and don't try and answer it straight away. Accept that it's already been answered, and try and interpret that energy of the answer. You know, by being silent.
And you know, don't be afraid to ask again. You know, if you didn't quite, you know, interpret it the first time, you know, ask the same question.
So give me another one.
Ask for a sign.
And when you do ask a question and you can't interpret it straight away, keep your eyes and ears open. It might be an ad that flashes up on TV. It might be your daughter, your 3-year-old daughter in the background talking to her toys. Might answer you. As it's happened a few times.
That's happened many times.
Yes.
It could be a number plate. It could be a sign on a car or a truck.
It could be a song.
A whole raft of things
will just pop up. So just pay attention after you've asked the question.
Who we got?
So,
thanks, Katrina. Got any questions, darling? It's been a while.
Any other like ailments? Any other? What have you had lately?
What have I had lately? Let me think. Lots of stillness.
Lots of stillness. Well, yes, I had a burn off my motorbike again.
That's right. Yeah.
Which somehow matched my daughter's burn as well. But the burn generally represents you've got to look underneath the skin or underneath the surface. There's a problem underneath the surface. Depending on which part of your body you burn, like the leg, mine's had to do with my physical direction in life and doing things my way. So I wasn't looking deep enough into that to do things my way. So as I interpreted that, that interpretation we got out of the book called The Body is the Barometer of the Soul. And then we just go with our tool. If it's light, it's right. If it's heavy, it's a lie. That's how we interpret things. If it's a
check
truth,
in with your inner guru.
Check in with your inner guru, which is another one of our videos on YouTube. And you can go on and check that out.
Thank you, Toad, for posting a link.
And yes, the link's in the comments now.
So Max has asked us to talk a little bit more about the how-tos and what we mean by that.
So the how-tos are basically the logical mind. So if you want to do something you haven't done before, you can't think of how to, basically. There's a simple way of doing it. So I want a new Learjet, right? I don't even own my house. So how am I going to get a Learjet? Well, I can't go into any how-tos. So I can go into, okay, let me just focus on what that feels like.
Right.
And don't go into how-tos. How-tos, there's a saying that goes, if you do what you've always done, you get what you always got. So all of your how-tos are like your radar. That's everything you've already done. Your how-tos, how can you do something? If you want to know how to do it, you've already done it. If you know how to do it, I should say, you've already done it.
Yes.
So if you don't know how you've done it, if you go for something you haven't done before, then you can't think, oh, well, I need this and I need that. And I need
It's
this.
just like, you've got to, as you've grown up and you've bought beliefs and you've learned whatever you've learned, that's like a finite kind of block of information. So if you ask yourself, how do I do this? Immediately the brain's going to go to that block of information and you're going to be confined back to that. Whereas if you just throw the question open and see what comes through, or look at synchronicity.
For an simple example, I need a new car, right? I want a new car. So normally the brain goes, well, I've got to get a loan. Oh, well, I can't qualify for a loan right now because I've gone bankrupt or something.
Blah, blah, blah.
And then you go, okay, but that's one way. And you don't say you don't have to get a loan.
Right.
What you say is there's a number of other possibilities that I can't even think about.
Yeah.
Somebody might give me one, I might win one, and there's other possibilities that I've got no idea about. So if I just say, okay, show me the way, let me see, I need a new car, and if I believe that if I go with my trust and feelings, like other things, we do this all the time with little things.
That's right.
We'll do it with parking spots, we'll do it with going out and having fun, we do it in lots of little ways. So there's no difference in doing it in little ways and big ways, except for your belief.
Just building up a belief.
So just stay out of it. So when you ask for something, stay out of the how-tos. Doesn't mean you say, I don't need a loan for the car. A loan for the car is one way, I don't know how to do that. But there could be a dozen other ways that I have not thought about. So I'm just going to keep my eyes and ears open and not limit it to a loan.
So it's being the question.
Yes, this is part of being question.
This is a large part of who we are and what we're teaching, right?
Yes, indeed. This is this is one of the primary ones. That's one of the primary tools is to just ask the question, then stay open to all the infinite possibilities.
That's
which is a catchphrase that everyone loves to talk about. Everyone goes, "Oh, infinite possibilities." I'm like, you don't even have finite possibilities. You've got like 2 possibilities. That's your. I've got to get a loan and I've got to get a job. There's your 2 possibilities. That's it. See you later. Bye. That's your how-tos. It's like
Tracy's phone died. That's okay, Tracy.
And so these are. It's infinite possibilities is a ridiculous statement, I believe, for most people because we can't even get into like hundreds of possibilities, let alone infinite. But the concept is to stay open and have no thoughts about how it shows up. Just open up and go, hey, show me how to get a new car. And I want it to be fun, and I want it to be easy, and I want it to be good. And if you can trust that and build the belief up and build the belief up.
Yeah.
So you obviously a new car is probably not going to be the first one you're going to do, but you do it with the smaller ones to build the belief. What if this happens? What if that happens? And so a lot of people do it with parking spots. A lot of people do it with.
We do it every day with parking
lots
spots.
of different things. Some people do it with going out and getting free drinks off people. So lots of people do it in lots of different ways.
All kinds of ways.
But then you just build the belief. What if I could do that here? What if I could do that there? And you start to increase. Do it with.
And that's the key, right? The key is to start small, right?
Yes.
Start small with little things,
Don't go beyond the belief. I mean, you can start big and you can jag it quite a lot of times. You'll start and you'll get it right the first time. But then you get the belief that I'll get it every time, and then for the next 10, 50 times you don't get it, and then you lose that belief.
And you might find once I started learning the tools, I actually realised that I had been doing some of them in my own ways, right?
Yeah.
In different ways, but that I hadn't realised for many years that I was doing them.
Yes.
Until John had pointed out, I was like he'd teach me a new tool, and I'd be like, okay, cool, this is a cool tool, and he's just like, this is what you do, and he pointed out the last 6 months I've seen you do it here, here, and here, and I'm like, shit.
But it's just, he calls it a different thing. It's a different wording of the tools.
Yeah.
It's like, these are intuitive things that we're all born with, that we're programmed out of. It's natural. You look at any kid under 3 years old, they're all doing this stuff all the time.
So Tracy, what we asked was for a little bit more information on the emotional roller coaster, if you're willing to give a bit more, just sort of guide us a little bit, I suppose, what triggers it in certain situations.
What types of emotions.
Yeah.
So a lot of the emotional stuff is we're picking up from other people.
Yeah.
Or the other main thing is we have too many rights and wrongs in our heads. This shouldn't happen, this should happen, it's not right that they do that, it's wrong that they do that. You know, that's going to cause you to have an emotional roller coaster because you've got all these rules and you can't change everybody. You can't change anybody usually, but you know, but and if you, they're the two primary reasons why people get on emotional roller coasters.
Yeah, and you know, going back to the real foundational tool that we have, which is checking in with your inner guru.
Yeah.
You know, when you find yourself in those situations, you know, what I used to do and what I still do is, you know, we check in. We sort of ask ourselves, you know, firstly, you know, with the other tools, does it belong to me?
Yeah.
Or do I need to slow down? You know, do I need to leave the situation? You know, do I believe what I'm being told?
Intuition is being taught from within.
Yeah.
Everyone has their answers within themselves, but it's basically, most of the time it's a yes and no answer. The yes is it feels light and you feel relaxed, or it feels less intense.
Yeah.
The no is it feels more intense. And so if you ask, is this emotion somebody else's, or does this belong to somebody else, it'll get less intense. Maybe a little bit, and you might have to repeat it 5 or 10 times.
Yeah.
Or if it gets more intense, then it is yours, and say, well, how did I create this, and how do I get rid of it?
Right.
So, but you've got to focus on the feeling. You can't think a feeling.
You can't think a feeling.
It's like, so
It's
when if it's anger, you got to feel the anger, focus on the anger, and go,
try it yourself.
Is that my anger? And does it get less? If it gets less strong, then no, it's not yours. Get rid of it. Return it to sender.
Cool.
And if it gets stronger, a little bit more angry, and it doesn't necessarily work straight away every time, you might have to repeat it 4 or 5 times.
But I mean, I was in a similar emotional roller coaster situation over a year and a bit ago.
Yes.
You know, when we first sort of started on this path, I started with John on this path, and you know, I got to a point where I just threw the hands up and I was just like, fuck it, I'm done. You know, like there's got to be more to life than the way I was heading down my path, and you know, I was fortunate enough to be, you know, brought in to where I'm at now.
Yeah.
And to be taught these tools, you know, and it all started with the 3 basic tools, you know, that we've got online now.
So we've got them on YouTube. So
I can highly recommend, you know, at least give them a listen, you know, give them a try. You know, you don't need to believe it straight up, but
you know, these tools are about controlling the world. You know, this gives you total control over the entire world. Actually, these tools will give you total control over the entire universe. That is because the entire universe exists within you.
Yeah.
Nothing exists in your world outside of you. All the thoughts, feelings, and emotions, they're all inside you. Therefore, the whole world, the whole universe is inside you. Crazy. So if you want to control the whole world and you want to control the whole universe, all you got to do is control you. That simple.
Hey John, where are you seeing me?
I'm seeing you on the picture screen inside my head. I know you're over there, but I'm seeing you in here, just like I'm hearing you inside my head.
You know, and we react to what we see, right? So it's us reacting, right?
Inside your body, if you choose to learn how to, you can control everything.
Yep.
Literally, energetically, emotions, feelings, thoughts. You can learn to control them all. Outside, you've got very little chance of controlling anything. But if you can control this, the outside doesn't bother you.
The outside doesn't matter anymore.
And so this is what the tools are based on. Everyone's universe exists within inside themselves, and you can control everything that's inside of yourself if you learn how. And if you don't unlearn how. If you're 3 years old and no one interferes with you, you already know how to do that, so it's pretty easy. But unfortunately, we're programmed out of it most of the time.
And that's I guess what we're here to teach people.
Yes, exactly.
Right, you know, is how they can take control.
You know, and it's a bit by bit thing. It's like learning to play the violin. You know, the body is a mastery tool, and it's amazing when you start having these so-called miraculous things happen. Pains and things disappear and heal themselves. And
flatline your brain.
Flatline your brain, so you go and think, and you're just looking around like
that's hectic.
Like a clown. So yes, I think that's what's the time there, Mr.
9:05.
We're pretty good.
9:05. Okay. So yes, if there's any, we can do 1 or 2 more questions. If anyone's got a question, remember also we're giving away
5 sessions.
5 sessions live on Facebook. So if you go onto our Facebook and on our top post, you just click on the post and do all the comments and shit.
Yeah, do the like and share. Like and share to go in the draw.
Like, comment, and share.
Yeah, like, comment, and share that stuff. And then we'll put you in the draw, and we're drawing that Thursday night. So 5 people will know Thursday night who they get a free half-an-hour session. So we
highly recommend
talk you through these things. You know, I just get on with you and we just talk.
Yeah.
And You just ask questions, and I just point out a different viewpoint.
And it is a lot easier, right? Doing one-on-ones.
It's much easier doing one-on-ones.
And we understand some people are a little bit hesitant to post what's going on in their lives on a live feed.
Yeah.
So it's another good way to get.
Although those feeds
advice.
will be live.
Oh, they will be live.
So those ones will be left on Facebook. So if you do want a private one, you'll have to pay for them. But those ones will be one-on-one, but they'll be left on Facebook Live. So for other people to view, just so they can see how the technique works when you're working one-on-one.
Awesome.
So that's part of the promo. So no more questions at the moment.
I think we're good.
I think we're good. So sorry again about the technical issues.
We'll spend another week trying to figure that shit out.
We just got it all sorted about an hour ago, and obviously we didn't. So we'll also work on what our problem is with that. So we'll ensure our own problem on that one.
Yes, we'll sit down on that one. Do that one now. So make sure you get along to our website www.bquest.me. Check out our Facebook page for promotions. We will quite happily take messages from personal messages if you want to get in touch with us midweek.
Yeah.
Jump on our YouTube channel, check out our 3 tools. We're going to get another 3 tools out this week.
Yes.
Maybe even some of our stories.
Yep.
Get them online. We also have an Instagram account which we're slowly sort of building that up as well. bquest.wellbeing. I do a weekly intuitive inner child reading on a Monday, Tuesday. Posted that again tonight. So would love for you guys to go along and subscribe to that or follow that and take a read.
So yes, we offer personal healing sessions as well as readings, intuitive readings, but the session usually incorporates a few of those things.
Yeah.
So I'll check with meridians and chakras and energy balancing as well as entities and all sorts of wonderful weird things that might be affecting you, which is much easier one-on-one. So
cool.
Those services are available on our Facebook. Check them out if you want. If not, be you and
you do you.
Be you and change the world. Be not you and suffer the world. There we go. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everyone.